Hello dear ones, and welcome to this new video. Today we're finally preparing the ABARTH again. If you followed a bit of the evolution of this car, it's been 4 years more or less, many years that it continues to be modified. We've always done it old school, firstly with the IHI Turbine, the one that was original on the Turismo, and we got up to around 180 horsepower. Then we did the second step with the Garrett 1446 and of course box, map, intercooler, and we reached 207 horsepower and 333, if I'm not mistaken, the Newton meter of torque, which is what we have now. And today we're going to put in a more powerful turbine map. Now we're going inside, putting it on the lift and let it cool down, also because the drive from Milan to Turin was a bit much and we get our hands dirty after. Because right now it's hot and we can't touch it. Let's go.
One thing I've always liked about old school and perhaps other workshops I happen to work with is they work in motorsport. That is, they prepare engines to race, and therefore this knowledge they acquire on the track, all the trials, the tests, the engines they build, etc. For the track is then also reported for road cars. It's an incredible thing because an engine on the track is highly stressed, and if they are able to keep it from breaking down on the track, it would mean they have good techniques to make an engine also safe on the road. I obviously always speak from my own experience, but I have always had a good relationship with them and the car has never given me any problems.
We're ready, the car's here on the bridge. It reminds me of the old days, good emotions. I thought it was going to be an old school turbine, which is basically a hybrid between a TD04 and a 1446, but they wanted to do even more. So the turbine we're going to put in will be this TD04, but I'm not going to tell you what its specifications are because I want Osvaldo to say it directly. Let's wait and see. The high intake and the old scat have been removed. Here there will obviously be the new one that will go together with the TD. I cleaned the car with McLaren products. Basically, I look at myself inside the bodywork. Then I'll show them a little better. Maybe on the Silvia, which needs to be cleaned well. At least I'll show you something cool. Now back to us. Let's see, my turbine is missing. Here it is, by the way. Look at the impeller in comparison. How much smaller it is. See, this is much larger. We are here with Osvaldo. We were all there already. We had seen each other in other episodes. So at the beginning, we wanted to put the one that was halfway between 14 and 46 of 0.4, which is this. That's right. Okay.
It's a great hybrid, as all those well aware of the TG04 know have a flaw. They suffer greatly from turbo lag. Okay, it's an excellent turbine for quality to price ratio. I wasn't a big fan until I started working and studying on it, how to make this turbine with less turbo lag. Okay, this turbine here was explicitly created for heavy cars. Its characteristic is that it has 2800 rotations per minute. It goes into spool, but we are limited to having the standard horsepower number. Okay, so with this turbine here, we can make 250 horsepower. Well, that is with a stock engine, not bad at all. If then we want to install a series of cams and add a bit more, let's say we can reach 270 horsepower. On your Nicolo, I was planning to install this one because I was convinced yours was a Euro 5, and instead, but no, it's a Euro 6, and then since it's a Euro 6, as we all know, Euro 5, Euro 6 changes the engine compression ratio. I want to see some numbers, and then I decided to install this one. This here is the Gold Series. The Gold Series is a turbine that we also designed to make it reliable and to not have so much turbo lag as an intake and exhaust body. It is always of a classic TD04. We have increased an impeller. We have lightened it as much as possible. We have gone to reinforce the core axles so that we are able to travel with higher turbo pressures compared to a very normal TD. This series here starts from 250 horsepower and goes up to 320 horsepower. Goodness, having said this, Niccolo, I would tell you, let's mount everything. Let's mount. We do the bench test and the road tests that await you, I think, a bit, everyone. And well, of course, very well, I greet you and hello to everyone.
Then the beast was lit. Do you remember when we made the video with that 500 that had 400 horsepower? Here she is, still her, but she's been prepped even more. Now it's 480 horsepower and 530 Newton meters of torque. I was already very scared last time. I'm very undecided whether to go back up, but I'll do it for you, okay? Feel the minimum as I continue to do. That's because it's the cams. It has the cams that are very, very aggressive, and so the engine keeps doing this rough idling. Okay, we took a spin on Osvaldo's 500. I have to say it's amazing the power you can pull from a 1400 because his is still a 1400.
So for this upgrade, we're also changing the injectors. Originally we had the 330, but we're going to install the 390.
So do I need to change the filter as well? This one is also different from the other. How many of these damn 500 do you make a day? Holy Jesus!
This tube goes into the voice gate to measure the first opening. So the first opening is now at 0.5, and at 0.5 it's a good compromise for the pressures we have to turn. And how much will we be turning? We're not causing troubles, we're being humans. We're roughly at a pressure peak of 1.5 and constant 1.4, considering that we'll be turning with a 95 octane square. Okay, we'll try maybe some other time. Okay, now let's give the benefit of the doubt. The benefit of the doubt is fine.
This was originally naturally aspirated and became turbocharged with TT. For now, yes, just for now. Look what's already come out. 241 and 350 nanometers. Orco! Oh!
go to a gas station where there isn't much gasoline recycled and therefore the gasoline stays in the tank for a long time and becomes stagnant and loses its properties, the corrections will be much higher. So what I generally recommend is to always go to a gas station that recycles a lot and continuously replenishes with fresh gasoline.
I'd say it's a great result. The nice thing to remember is that it's always a 95 octane map, so I don't have the hassle of using 100 octane fuel and going to find it. I don't have the hassle of adding additives.
Okay, well, it's time to try it out on the road, right? Surely the first thing I want to say is that we're going to have to change the brakes. Now, you can really hear a lot of the turbo noise. It doesn't whistle like it used to. It's not like the 446 anymore. It's a breath. I noticed that the sound of the TD04 isn't heard with Record Monza. It would be good to put on a higher performance exhaust because it's a bit more free, and so you can hear the sound of the TD04 well, because now compared to before, the sound hasn't changed much. You must grip the steering wheel tightly because it now suffers from torque steering effect. That is, when the bad torque enters, it steers itself. Talk much, but apart from being super fun, it's also challenging. A very nice feature of the Fiat 500 is that it involves you. Because if you drive it carefree, you'll probably crumple against a wall. And this is what makes it really fun, understand? It's entertaining, it's a game with a bit of challenge. Let's see if you can go home today without having crumpled it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you at the next one. Traumatized.